Summer, 117 AD. The streets of Rome pulse with a million souls. Merchants hawk goods in the forum, senators debate in marble halls, Praetorian guards patrol the palace. It's the apex of human civilization. But let's change one thing. In the countryside outside the Servian walls is something no one understands. A platoon of 40 United States Marines from 2023 dropped into a battle they were never trained for. So, what happens when the most advanced infantry unit on Earth is unleashed during one of history's greatest empires? Can they topple the throne of Caesar? Or is it just one platoon against an entire empire? First, let's see what we just dropped into ancient Italy. These aren't just soldiers, they're Marines, each one carrying an M4 carbine that can drop a man at 500 meters. That's 5 times the range of a Roman archer on his best day. Every Marine packs 300 rounds of 5.56 millimeter ammunition, fragmentation grenades that turn crowds into casualties, and night vision goggles that make darkness their ally. Some carry M240 machine guns that spit death at 800 meters. Others have shoulder-fired rockets that can punch through any wall Rome ever built. They're wrapped in Kevlar armor designed to stop bullets, meaning Roman swords and arrows might as well be toothpicks. They've got encrypted radios for instant coordination, GPS units, and medical kits with tourniquets and antibiotics that would seem like magic to Roman physicians. But Emperor Trajan's forces are nothing to laugh at either. Rome commands 10,000 soldiers in the capital alone. The Praetorian Guard, made up of 5,000 elite warriors in segmented armor, would die before letting anyone near their emperor. They carry the gladius sword for close combat, heavy javelins called pilum that can pierce shields, and they've conquered everything from Britain to Mesopotamia. These aren't just barbarians either. They're professional soldiers who've built the greatest empire the world has ever seen. They know their city's every alley, every defensive position, every choke point. And behind them is an empire of 60 million people that can call up legions from across 3 continents. The Marines' clock starts ticking the moment they arrive. Phase 1. First contact. It's dusk outside Rome when the Marines materialize near the Via Appia. Within minutes, they've spotted the city walls. The platoon commander makes a decision. The only way to win this is by decapitating the empire, by taking out its leadership. As darkness falls, the Marines approach the gates using night vision. Roman sentries with torches never see them coming. Suppressed pistol shots drop guards instantly, their bodies crumple without a sound. The Marines slip through the gates like a shadow, split into 3 squads, and navigate by compass toward the Palatine Hill where intelligence suggests the emperor resides. They grab a terrified merchant, and through gestures and broken Latin, they wrangle directions out of him. Phase 2. A patrol of urban cohorts, Rome's police force, stumbles into Alpha Squad during a patrol. The Romans shout in Latin and raise shields prepared to attack. The response is automatic rifle fire. The sound of rifle fire rips through the night. 12 Romans drop instantly, their bronze armor useless against modern bullets. But one manages to blow a horn before a 3-round burst cuts him down. Now Rome knows something's wrong. The Marines push harder, speed replacing stealth. They toss flashbangs into courtyards, sending Romans stumbling, thinking the gods themselves are attacking. Marines sweep through with controlled bursts, dropping anyone with a weapon. Word spreads like wildfire. Demons with thundersticks are killing soldiers without touching them. Some Romans flee immediately. Others form shield walls, not understanding their painted wood and leather can't stop bullets traveling 3,000 feet per second. A Marine sniper with an ACOG scope demonstrates this brutality, picking off an approaching Roman commander at 300 meters. The officer's men watch their leader's head snap back, a red mist where his face was, and they break formation screaming about Jupiter's wrath. Phase 3. Storming the palace. The Palatine Hill looms ahead. 100 Praetorians have formed up at the palace gates, shields locked, ready to die for their emperor. The Marines don't give them the chance for an honorable death. Bravo Squad takes overwatch positions on nearby rooftops. Alpha circles to a servant's entrance. Over the radio, a countdown reaches 0 and they strike simultaneously. C4 detonates at the side gate, and ancient masonry explodes into dust and rubble. As Praetorians turn toward the blast, an M240 machine gun opens up from the rooftop. Tracer rounds draw lines of death through the night, and a 40mm grenade launcher starts walking explosions through their formation. It's not so much a battle as it is a massacre. Praetorians trained to fight with sword and shield are torn apart by weapons that kill from beyond javelin range. Some brave souls charge forward, only to meet the same rifle fire before they get past shouting distance. Their famous discipline breaks. The survivors flee, leaving purple capes and segmented armor scattered across the cobble streets. The Marines storm the palace. Every marble hallway becomes a killing field. Night vision turns darkness into their domain while Romans stumble with oil lamps. They find Emperor Trajan in his throne room, the most powerful man in the ancient world, surrounded by the last of his last guards. A brief standoff. The Praetorian prefect draws his gladius and takes 3 bullets center mass before the blade clears its sheath. The rest are quick to follow. Zip ties go on Trajan's wrists. The impossible has happened. Caesar is captured. Dawn breaks with Rome in chaos. The Marines have barricaded themselves in the palace with the emperor as hostage. They drag him onto the balcony where thousands of Romans have gathered. To prove their power, they fire a javelin anti-tank missile at a column of reinforcements approaching down the Via Sacra. The rocket screams out trailing smoke, and where 50 soldiers stood, now only a crater and body parts remain. The psychological effect is devastating. Romans think they're facing gods or demons. Some drop weapons and flee, others fall to their knees praying. But Rome has survived 1,000 years by being tough. More legions arrive every hour. The urban cohorts regroup. Even some brave armed citizens join the fight. Even with their leader captured, it's still thousands of angry Romans versus 40 exhausted Marines who are down to their last magazines. Phase 4, The Last Stand. The Romans attack from everywhere at once. They scale walls with ladders, rush doorways in waves, even try tunneling under the palace. Doorways become kill zones, and bodies pile up 3 deep as Marines at every entrance burn through their last bits of ammunition. In the stairwells, attackers have to climb over their own dead to make any progress forward. But the math is inevitable. One Marine runs dry after another. They're down to 30 effectives, then 20, then a dozen. The commander makes the hard choice. They execute Trajan, hoping his death will shatter the empire, then attempt an escape. Under smoke grenades and covering fire, 8 Marines blast through the palace wall and sprint for the city gates. They blow a hole in the Servian wall with their last demolition charge and disappear in the Italian countryside. Behind them, Rome burns with chaos. Their emperor is dead. Thousands of Romans lie killed by weapons they don't understand, and the myth of Roman invincibility is shattered. But what happens next? The surviving Marines have no ammunition left. They're wounded, exhausted, and being hunted by every legion in Italy. Within days, they'll be caught or killed. The empire has secession plans, and Hadrian takes the throne next. They've just lost one leader and their pride, not their entire civilization. Rome had infinite soldiers. The Marines had finite bullets. So could a modern platoon of Marines overthrow the Roman Empire at its peak? No. But they would cause a scene that would be remembered for the rest of time. The Marines achieved the impossible. But once they ran out of ammo, the most advanced warriors and the most primitive ones are the same flesh and blood. Or what do you think would happen? And if you're curious what would happen if a modern destroyer fought at Pearl Harbor, check out the video on screen now. Thanks for watching.